Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining in. We gave like a few minutes time for everybody to join in. However, if somebody like comes in later, he will just like we can update him or her on what we have been discussing so far, or it will be like clear from the context. First of all, thanks for joining in. It's we actually organized this roundtable for several reasons. First of all, it's just because it's the Central Asian Flyway is really neglected in many strategies and regarding action plan for species, and also regarding projects and collaboration in many aspects. And then on the second hand, just because it's a really important flyway, but also really not studied well, not only regarding the Egyptian vulture, but also many other migrating species. I'm gonna announce a few things that might be of interest of people who are working actually on this flyway. So first of all, my intention for organizing and speaking the roundtable was to actually kind of initiate some collaboration between researchers and conservationists working on the Central Asian Flyway. And I see here already people that we have been in contact or we have met together and working on different projects in across the Central Asian Flyway. I actually would like to first of all to maybe to open a discussion and maybe let's see where we have gaps and if we need actually if we need further collaboration and what actually we can do to improve the collaboration in the Central Asian region and also in generally on the Central Asian migratory flyway, because it covers not only the Central Asian region but also India, Pakistan, and this whole area where many migrants actually end up wintering. So please, if I would like to give you the floor for ideas and actually to hear back from you what we need to do more to actually stimulate and organize a better collaboration on the Central Asian Flyway. So who wants to take the floor? Please don't be shy, and we're here to share ideas and eventually come up with some good outputs that we can actually use afterwards, and of course to stay in touch. And I really believe that this is a way to start a good work among us and to strengthen cooperation and to initiate further projects and ideas. So it's please, you're welcome. Who wants to start and share ideas and tell me your opinion on the and your work on the Central Asian Flyway, and actually what you consider important for undertaking as first steps to actually perform better on this migratory flyway. Who would like to share some thoughts? If you're shy, I can maybe just ask somebody who I already know to start. Maybe Becky or Alona.
Yeah, I was going to start off, I don't know if you can hear me, just asking what you as an organisation kind of need in regards to funding and stuff in the future. Obviously, you said that you wanted to carry on this project for a few years. So just wanting to know what your needs are, kind of fundraising and kind of education outreach, like what your thoughts about and what do you want from us?
According to me, like upon my opinion, it's what we actually miss in on the Central Asian Flyway, because it's more or less there is some work done on several species, mostly the Egyptian vulture and the steppe eagle. And I think that something something that everybody will agree is that we more or less lack funding and for different research projects in different regions across the Central Asian Flyway, first of all, and then maybe we don't know each other quite well. So there is also this lack of maybe communication and just exchange of data and ideas between different organizations and parties on the Central Asian Flyway. So this is also, I believe, good for where we can actually exchange not only ideas but also contacts and come up together with some ideas for future projects and of course any ideas on how to find funds and that can actually feed our project proposals. It will be very important.
Vladimir, is there a species? Are there more species you'd like to expand to beyond Egyptian vultures? Obviously there are. Do you have like a priority list of species you'd like to focus on out of those?
Yeah, that's a good question. Actually, it's also the answer is related to the second part of the roundtable that I was about to raise. BirdLife is now developing a new strategy, which is actually concerning the eastern part of the African Eurasian Flyway. And this strategy is now under planning. And actually, it's the Central Asian Flyway is one of the targeted regions. And actually, the task of this strategy of BirdLife that would be it is now just the very first step of it. It has now been discussed in the other roundtable, but there are a few tasks in this strategy that will be prepared, and they are identifying priority migrant species and all populations for conservation. Other tasks of this strategy will be to identify key sites for conservation, also to assess the distribution of an relative and also the relative significance of different threats, and another task of this strategy will be to assess the current activity of BirdLife and other partners active in on this flyway. So more or less, it's regarding the work on the Central Asian Flyway. I believe we're not only targeting the Egyptian vulture and the steppe eagle. I started with it because it's obviously two species that there is some work done on it, but the strategy that I mentioned will be something that might eventually help and provide funds in the future for different projects aiming not only those two species but other species on this flyway. And one of the first things that is needed regarding the strategy is the first step is actually to point out focal points who would be willing to provide information and actually to assess the threats in different regions in their country, and also to actually kind of update the information on the status and of different and population numbers of different species that use the Central Asian Flyway. So I think it's this could be this. I think this is the answer to your question. But of course, yeah, I'll be glad to hear some ideas and comments also. Does anyone wants to ideas or something regarding that what we have already said? The first question is actually if you all of you actually see a point of like pushing cooperation in the region and on the Central Asian Flyway, because it's this is, I believe, a starting point. Then it's important to see who will be willing to contribute for the future birdlife strategy that will eventually actually it will be able to fund different projects on the Central Asian Flyway, and not only on the Egyptian vulture and on the steppe eagle, but also on other species important to the region and the Flyway.
Is there some sort of oh, let me put my video on, it's a bit more personal. Is there some sort of mailing list or conversational tool that we could be using, or like a WhatsApp group or something like that for discussing and keeping in touch in future?
Yeah, I mean, there are several options, because now maybe most of you are already on the Egyptian vulture on the Egyptian vulture mailing list, where you eventually get some messages and important emails from like for everything that happens with the species, for projects and anything else. But actually there is no mailing list or on the Central Asian Flyway that actually gathers all the people from the region, where they can actually exchange information. So this is something that can be, of course, created on demand if after like invitations to different experts and people from the Central Asian Flyway. So it is a good starting point, maybe an idea that something real that can be created. But also it's because it's a very difficult. Central Asian Flyway covers many countries, so it's very difficult to work on it, and there are different problems and issues in each country. So like sharing experience from different countries laying on the Central Asian Flyway could help actually to give some just to give information what we can focus on, and how we can overcome difficulties, and mostly regarding projects, funding, and communication between us.
I did have another question just about that collaboration between the different countries in the Central Asian Flyway, because there's so many different countries participating in it. Are there any that are being slightly more difficult than the others? And is this a focus that we could kind of push for in the future as well?
Well, it's I think each country has its own specifics, and because there are also not many people working on the Central Asian Flyway, and I believe most of the people are working on a specific topic or a specific species. So it's maybe like focusing on these most important species, which are actually could be like umbrella species or mostly endangered species, can actually help us to come up with some good ideas for collaboration and projects on the Central Asian Flyway. And also this could be related to the upcoming birdlife strategy that will actually fund projects on the Central Asian Flyway in the future, maybe next year or 2024. But of course, it's just to reach this point, we all have to contribute and collect some, let's say, basic data and information on different species and threats in the region.
How much monitoring is going on at the wintering sites? There was obviously a lot of the birds which you'd satellite tagged turn up at the tips in India. Is there people there regularly over the winter time monitoring those, and are they picking up birds that have been ringed or tagged elsewhere?
We have collaborators in the area, but still it's it's something that needs to be addressed in the future, because there is no systematic like monitoring and counts in the area. Plus, it's from my own perspective, I see that the data coming from these countries, it's really dispersed and not systematic, and also it's there is no communication going in between. So it's kind of that there's many pieces of the same puzzle, but they're just not like put it on the map, and we don't see the general picture. So it's something. It's one of, to my opinion, one of the things that should be improved in the future. If we want to actually, just manage to tackle problems and different threats on the Central Asian Flyway. Just because I see now that there are people from different countries, so maybe I'll be glad to hear also your opinion, what you work on, and actually what you need, how do you see your work in future, and what you need to continue actually your work, and how we can collaborate. For example, I see here Henriette and Alena from Kazakhstan. They work on the Egyptian voucher and the Saker Falcon, Elvira as well. So it's they have a great experience. So I'm sure they can share ideas and something that might help us. Who wants to take the floor? Henrietta or Alena? Don't be shy. From what I've seen now, we know that you and us in Uzbekistan, we are the latest people who actually have a project in the region. So it's we're already cooperating in a way, but I think this could be a really good. It could be motivating for the others in the audience to hear about it, and just to to come up with something, with new collaborations and ideas for the future, and also how we can contribute to the bird life strategy. So in the future we can get funds for our projects in the region and on the Central Asian Flyway. Some ideas, because it's I wanted to actually do a list of things to do. I know that it's I mean, this meeting and this roundtable won't solve all the problems and won't give answers to all the questions, but at least we can start from somewhere. And I'm actually I will be also happy to hear like the other participants from which region they come, because I can't see it here on the screen, but I'll be glad to hear your work and in which areas it is, so it might help us to just to push the conversation further. Hi, Elvira. You're muted. Okay, I see Igor there as well.
Yes, Igor is here too, and excuse us, we understand not so good in this format. It's not so easy for us to participate in discussion. Please, if you repeat the question, what we invite from us, I try to say.
Okay, thanks for joining in. And the questions are, I'll try to summarize because I speak a lot, but generally we first of all, about regarding the BirdLife strategy. So BirdLife is preparing a strategy. It is a it is a draft now, but they will.
Excuse me.
But they will more or less try to find focal points in different countries on the Central Asian Flyway. This could be either a BirdLife partner or another NGO organization which is not BirdLife. But what they aim is to collect information on the most threatened species and their populations, and also areas that are of great importance. For example, sites where birds congregate, and like different sites where, for example, a large population of a certain endangered species exists. So afterwards, once they collect this data, they will be able to fund different projects on the Central Asian Flyway, which actually can help all of us to apply for different projects and actually to do more than what we have done so far, and of course to improve our collaboration, and maybe I hope that we'll be able to actually work on a like larger project where we can different organizations from different countries can contribute. Sorry? Yeah, this is the summary.
Okay, thank you very much. I had your talk, and I can tell only that we started a big project in Kazakhstan about vultures, and the main point of our work is in Karatau Mountains, and we are planning to work about study population, study success of population, and search for food and the threats. And we are open for collaboration with different groups. And yes, very important that we already mark 5 vultures in this year, and the next year we planning to continuous, and very good that we can collaborate with your group about Middle Asia Flyway, but we don't know exactly how BirdLife planning the work in Middle Asia, because our project start not connection with BirdLife plans. I'm sure it's not so important, because we understand that the main question was the threat, and what we should do for conserve the population. And maybe you can ask us more precisely questions. What are you thinking about collaboration in our region, Middle Asia?
Well, it's because the strategy was mentioned. I think the most important of it is that it is not only targeting BirdLife partners, but also different organizations could contribute, which to me is very important. And just because also it will give a perspective, and also actually a chance to work on a bigger project. And I mean, if anyway, because they are getting information on focal points, I'll be very glad to provide your contacts to just to serve as focal points for Kazakhstan as well, because I hope we'll be able to do the same for Uzbekistan, and hopefully come up with a common project in the near future. Anyway, I really hope to see you next year on the field as well. We're planning, of course, more work, and you'll be notified. We'll text you about it, because we're still planning it. But yeah, hopefully our cooperation and our meeting was very nice. So it's a good start for the whole region actually, because it's so far nobody has has been interested or cooperated with us. So you are great that we met and we spent some time together. And I believe this is a very good example for the whole region in the Central Asian Flyway. And maybe like finding partners in also in like good partners in Pakistan, in India, and cooperation in between could be very important. And we can gain more, of course, in regarding gaining knowledge and of course collecting more data and information on the threats and other species. Regarding the Egyptian vulture, to my opinion, there are many gaps, and mostly regarding the population of the species across the region, and also the wintering population in India and Pakistan, because I mentioned already about the pieces from the puzzle in the information coming from India and Pakistan, for example, for the Egyptian vultures wintering there. But more or less, it's so far we don't have the full, like the whole picture. And putting these puzzles, these pieces of the puzzle together will help actually not only for the Egyptian vulture, but also to other species like the steppe eagle, because you're doing a great job with the steppe eagle in Kazakhstan and Russia. But it's important to also this to be applied on the flyway and in the wintering grounds. And by chance, both the Egyptian vulture and the steppe eagles, they winter together. So and we know that Rajasthan is very important for all of us. So it's, I guess, finding like communication, closer communication between us, and also partners from India and Pakistan can actually contribute to the work for both species on the Central Asian Flyway.
I can add that we already have a very good agreement with Daul Al-Bohra from Rajasthan, and you know him, and we already discussion about to work together in Rajasthan. And we was in Rajasthan several years ago. We come to Daul Al-Bohra, and together we search place, wintering point in Rajasthan. And Daul already learn what threats there are there on this territory. It is very important work, and important work for vulture and for eagle too. And we have contacts with different people in India who love to take picture birds, and we know a great interest in India community, bird watchers, to know where are birds with tags in wintering places. We think that this collaboration has a very big future. And anywhere we will be in contact with these people, and we believe that Daul Al-Bohra he already done a lot of work about conservation raptors, and we believe that this work will be prolongation with us and our survey raptors. Probably, I believe you understand me. Excuse me for my English.
We understand.
Mm-hmm.
It's that's important, because it's DAO has done a lot also in Rajasthan, and it's just if we were able to put everything together in a common project, this would be great, because it will be coherent to work across the countries, and of course it will mostly help for the conservation of the species, because it's we all collect data on the threads, but it's still there are also really like huge large white spots where we don't have much information. So the further collaboration will also answer these questions: what are the like the major threats, and most importantly where they occur, because it's there are several very important congregation sites on the Central Asian Flyway, and it's very important conservation work to be focused like there, because it's these are the hotspots for all the birds where they feed and reside. So it's one of the key areas that conservation efforts must be focused on. And can you please the rest in the chat room, if you can share about like where you work actually, because we don't know everybody here in the room. So I'll be very happy to hear also the rest.
I'll introduce myself just to sort of get things started a little bit, although I don't think I'm a helpful person. Hi, I'm Kat. I work at Fauna and Flora International, but I'm here mostly in a personal capacity because I'm hoping to study vultures more in my spare time. And I'd really like to become involved in this project. And if anyone needs any assistance and help on that. And it feels like this is a great opportunity to find a central way of sharing data and information and contacts between all of the different people on this call. So that would be a great way, I think, to move forward from here, to sort of make this not just be something we do once a year at a conference.
Thanks, Kat. And what about the rest? Because already some of you spoke. Yeah.
Hi.
Hello.
I'm Lina Schneider. I'm from Igor Karyakin's team, but I'm not actually working with Egyptian vultures. That maybe in future. Well, I'm just listener here.
Okay, thank you for attending. But yeah, the future is would be more, I hope, productive for everybody, and with different opportunities for all of us, and yeah, and future collaborations, of course. Because so what about the rest? I still see people that I don't know, and so don't be shy. Hi, Patrick.
Hiya. I work for the RSPB in their investigations team. So it's this is really out of personal interest that I've joined, because my focus is on raptor persecution is what I work in. So it's my colleagues are involved with some of the Egyptian vulture stuff. So one of them did a sabbatical with Jenny on this. Okay, cool, nice. It's persecution is something like really relevant for the Central Asian Flyway. So it's thanks for being here. It's I guess from here maybe on there is some data from Uzbekistan, but I guess here Elvira and Igor can share a lot on the illegal trafficking, killing of birds, persecution in Kazakhstan and Russia, and yeah, very important issue we have not still addressed it entirely on the Central Asian Flyway.
I'll jump in. I'm Becky.
Hi, Becky.
Hi, I'm from the Hawk Conservancy. Just started position pretty much last week, but I know the Hawk Conservancy are involved in this project, helping fund some of the tags and stuff that they've used, and got those really interesting migration routes from the youngsters and stuff already. So we're hoping to continue that collaboration and see what you guys need from us in the future, and obviously improve kind of the emission of the data to the public and everything like that from your side and our side. It's on our websites and all those kinds of things. So that's what I'll be working on next few months.
Yeah, thanks a lot for to Hawk Conservancy and like your contribution as well.
I've done so much. I've literally just started, but hopefully I can do a little bit more in the future.
We hope so. So what about the others?
Okay, sorry, my camera's not on.
Hello,
Hi, Gera.
I'm Henrietta. I'm from Kazakhstan. I'm really shy.
We can see
But
that.
I only start to work with vouchers, and it is really interesting work. I'm happy that in Kazakhstan we start to conservation and study these species, and I wish in the future this species in Kazakhstan will be conservation for our helps. That's all.
Thanks. Yeah, just important messages that I mean, because obviously I speak too much, but we don't have much time left for this for this session. We still have like let's say 5 minutes, so it's anybody else who wants to take the floor, you're welcome. Just to introduce yourself or just to share your occupation and area of interest, because afterwards I hope that we will come up with some of course there will be some information back to you, and of course different meetings and talks that we can organize later.
Can everyone hear me?
Hello, Simon. We don't hear you quite well, but maybe if you try to speak closer to your micro, it might help.
Hi everyone. I'm Simon Parker. I work for we're working in consultancy, so slightly different from everyone else, but we're really keen to work with conservation bodies on projects going forward to make sure that we're always using those most up-to-date information and what we can further the science in the field of bird migration and wider scale studies, not just on the sites that we're working on.
Simon, we can't hear you.
Sorry.
Simon, can you try and click the little arrow next to where the microphone button is and just make sure the correct microphone is selected?
Try that one. Is that working any better? Nope. No. Sorry, everyone.
No worries. It's I guess just because we're so many people today, we'll experience some technical issues. But you can actually leave your thoughts here in the chat box, so we can read it. Yeah, just because the time is pressing us, I'll try to summarize. I'll try to summarize some of the thoughts and the ideas we had today. So I guess we all agreed that we kind of lack funding and also more communication and collaboration across the Central Asian Flyway, which should be improved in the future, which can actually happen in several ways. First of all, with a better communication and between different study groups and researchers in the area, and then another very good option is the upcoming birdwatch strategy, where different contributors can actually give and collect some information on species and important areas on the Central Asian Flyway, and eventually then get funded within the strategy to implement different projects across the Central Asian Flyway. What else is important? Just because it's just to keep the communication alive. You can, I mean, for any questions, you can just find me on my email. You can easily find my contacts on our Egyptian voucher project. And furthermore, to those who we have already worked with, we will be anyway in a contact for a further collaboration and projects. But of course, please don't hesitate to send me emails and to my colleagues. And of course, we can organize meetings and discussions later on in a different format, like over Zoom or Skype or whatever is available, and in order to discuss collaborations and projects together. And I guess it's the time to close the meeting now. Don't forget to get back to the conference, to the main stage when you press back to timeline button on the browser, and then you'll be able to pick up the next session that is upcoming on our schedule. And last but not least, really thanks everybody for joining in, and I hope you'll stay in touch. Thanks everybody, and see you later in the session. Bye.